What's up, everybody? Another episode of Stand Tall. It is December 12th, and we are in chapter 5 of The Art of War on energy. Verse 3. To ensure that your whole host may withstand the brunt of the enemy's attack and remain unshaken, this is affected by maneuvers, direct and indirect. Okay, so direct and indirect maneuvers. So it's not just what the enemy sees, it's what you don't see, right? When we talk about be an enigma, and he mentions that before, and so do some of the other generals. They mention being formless. Master Sun says, making the armies able to take on opponents without being defeated is a matter of unorthodox and orthodox methods. So, let's see what the generals have to say to this. Lin says that when you meet opponents head on with coordinated surprise attacks all around, you can always win and never lose. Ho Yangqi says that a military body goes through myriad transformations in which everything is blended. Nothing is not orthodox, nothing is not unorthodox. If the militia is raised for just cause, that is orthodox. If it adapts to change in face of an enemy, that is unorthodox. What is orthodox for you, cause opponents to see as unorthodox. What is unorthodox for you, cause opponents to see as orthodox. So always try to flip flop it, right? The orthodox politicians like to do that. The orthodox is also unorthodox, and the unorthodox is also orthodox. Generally, in military operations, there is always the orthodox and the unorthodox, or the straightforward and the surprise. Victory without use of both orthodox and unorthodox methods is a lucky win in what amounts to a brawl. Zheng uses that various people have different explanations of what is orthodox and what is unorthodox. Orthodoxy and unorthodoxy are not fixed, but are like a cycle. Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty, a famous warrior and administrator, spoke of manipulating opponents' perceptions of what is orthodox and what is unorthodox, then attacking unexpectedly, combining both into one, becoming inscrutable to opponents. So, if you got to kick someone in the nuts to win a fight, depending on whether or not this is a street fight or an MMA fight, that is going to be what what does it in. I just got a message on Facebook Messenger about something I'm selling. Okay. Now let's hop over to the Daily Stoic, December 12th. The beat goes on. Okay, so before we do that, right? Orthodox and unorthodox. There's so much behind this because we can talk for a long time about what is orthodox and what is unorthodox, right? Right. To be a gentleman is orthodox. To be a ruthless capitalist is unorthodox, depending on what morals and ethics you hold. So to be a good person is fairly orthodox. To be a good person who gets ahead might be unorthodox, depending on how you get ahead. You might have to rewrite your own rules. And sometimes that is the art of war. Make your own rules. Walk the long gallery of the past, of empires and kingdoms succeeding each other without number, and you can also see the future, for surely it will be exactly the same, unable to deviate from the present rhythm. I like rhythm. It's all one whether we've experienced 40 years or an eon. What more is there to see? Marcus Aurelius, Meditation 7.49. 7.49. All things die. Not just people, but companies, kingdoms, religions, and ideas, eventually. The Roman Republic lasted 450 years. The Roman Empire, of which Marcus Aurelius was considered to be one of the 5 good emperors, lasted 500 years. The longest recorded life of a human being is 122 years. The average life expectancy in the US is a little over 78 years. In other countries and other eras, it has been more and it has been less. But in the end, we all succumb, as Marcus said, to the rhythm of events. Nikola Tesla, in his autobiography, talks about rhythms. In my journal, I intuited the patterns. A lot of people intuit the patterns, the rhythms, the breath of the universe is what I like to think of it as. The rhythm of events, of which there is always a final, determined beat. There is no need to dwell on this fact, but there is no point in ignoring it either. Okay, so don't unorthodox and orthodox, right? Just like Sun Tzu is saying, don't dwell on the fact that you're going to die one day, because then you might become a nihilist. Nothing matters. What does it matter? But then don't ignore it, because you can take that and maybe make a positive outcome, a positive change in someone's life. And on top of that, life is so small and short in the grand scheme of things. We're blessed where we're at in today's day and age, to be where we're at, to have an existential crisis brick right in front of us where we're watching this video, right? And all the escapism that we can do, everything that we can do. It's amazing what happens when you don't dwell on death and you try to do good and you keep standing tall.